What's up, guys and gals? Welcome to the Cantonese Comic Kid channel, and welcome to Extreme Nerd Table. I have Anthony with me, my co-host. He's stepped away for a second, but here he is.
Hey,
What's up? And then I have Rando. Actually made it on time today. I have Rando with us.
happy Sunday, everyone. Hope everyone had a nerdy weekend.
Yeah. Or let's get down to the nerdy business. What did everybody pick up this week, or what was everybody up to this week? Since Rando's down, since Rando's down there, let's have Rando go first, since he's the longer one.
So this week I've just been trying to catch up on comics orders for customers. It's pretty what's the term? Productive. Pretty productive. That, and then just working at my jobs, trying to catch up on some TV shows, that kind of stuff.
Cool. Pick up anything?
Always. Every week I got to pick up books for customers. So I actually do have a stack of books here I want to showcase. These don't come out until Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Preview.
So I finally got in a copy. This is like the second, I think, second print.
Second print.
Second printing of Stake #1. Got that. These are books that I think I'm really digging that DC's been putting out. The Titans Academy. I think that's been the art's been really, really good.
People have been comparing that one to Strange Academy almost, because
I suppose
the art's real good. The art's real good in that. I almost picked that up, but I didn't.
This is great. I love Jeff Johns, so it was cool to see this. The Stargirl.
You didn't pick up.
And Top Knock actually did the art.
That comes out Tuesday.
This comes out Tuesday.
That looks good. I like that. I'll grab that. Even though I hate Marvel and DC, I'll grab it.
This, I saw an interview with Joshua Williamson. That dude's gonna blow up, man. He's gonna be a big writer. He was doing the Flash series. Now he's doing Robin, and he's doing a couple other things. In this interview that I saw him in, he's talking about how he's got stuff planned for the next 2-3 years, and they're all kind of connected. He's doing the Infinite Frontier event book. It's like a 6-issue mini, which I actually just put in the order on the FOC today. But he's been doing Robin, and I really, really like this artist that's doing the series. His art kind of reminds me of Roberto Ramos, and like maybe a little bit of Joe Mad.
Oh, it's nice. Who is that?
Yeah, I really like the art style. And just after seeing Joshua Williamson in an interview, I'm like, this dude's cool. Like,
what's the artist's name, Randall?
The artist's name? Let me see real quick here. His name is Gleb Melnikov. Sorry about the phone. Some idiot calling at over 9 o'clock at night.
Your warranty is expiring on your car.
Yeah. Probably some scammer like, hey, from the Social Security office.
PC calling, saying stop showing the books early.
There you go, Jeff. Is it somebody that we know?
No.
But this is pretty cool, Mr. Miracle. The art's pretty solid. I like the art.
There, I sent you the invite. You can pop in if you want.
That's what she said.
I actually know the writer. His name's Brandon Easton. Really cool guy. Really smart. He did like some other independent books, like he did a Judge Dredd miniseries. He writes for television as well, and he wrote one of the episodes for the Transformers animated series that's on Netflix.
Hey, Randall, check your flaw. You just dropped a name. I said, check the floor next to you. You just dropped his name.
Check the what?
Anything else, Rando?
Yeah. One, I love the Milestone characters. So the one shot right here, the Milestone Returns.
Oh, that's cool.
Lots of people worked on this book. Even Jim Lee contributed to a couple pages. Of course, the Reginald Hudlin worked on this. He's worked on film and television as well, and I think he even worked on like the Black Panther series back in the day. Dennis Cohen, classic artist, worked on this as well. And it kind of gives you like a little bit of a preview of like 3 of the Milestone series that they're releasing. They're doing the Static. They're doing what were the other 2? Hardware and Icon and Rocket. You know, so it's like a little bit of a preview right there of those 2. They're all going to be 6-issue miniseries, so hopefully they do really, really well. A little preview of what's coming out on Tuesday. I want to give a shout out to Detective Comics. Both Batman books I think have been really, really good. Detectives especially just because I love the artist Dan Mora. Dan's art is just so slick. Like this guy, let me see if I can get a nice little image in here to show off his art. That's not bad right here with Huntress. That looks pretty nice.
Yeah, actually, it looks better than some of the art that's in some of the other books.
Oh yeah. Like the Batman books are, they're killing it right now. And then I'm only picking up Batman Superman because the great Ivan Reis or Reyes, however you want to pronounce it, is doing the art. And
Come
I just
on,
love his
Daryl. We're
art.
not going to make you stand on the YouTube stream. Come on. He's complaining he was standing on hard floors. You can sit down for the stream. Come on, man.
So like
Sports
here,
card
like a pretty
convention.
decent image right there.
Nice.
Yeah, I've always liked his art. He's the main reason I'm picking up this series. And then one final thing I wanted to show, because I'm starting to get some of the Scout books as well. So I didn't realize Scout had an imprint called Black Caravan.
Yeah.
So they just came out with Black Friday.
Yeah, they're horror books. Yeah. That's their horror line.
That's their horror. Yeah. So the artist is Travis Williamson. I kind of dig his art style. It's a cross between, in my opinion, it's a cross between like Tim Sale and gosh, what's the other guy's artist name? Ben Templesmith. It's a cross between those 2 art styles. And this was the other cover for Black Friday. And I like the quality of the cover that they're using for this. Like it's better than the regular Scout Comics covers. This is more of a hard stock. It's just nice. I really like it. I would like to see all of the Scouts comics switch to this type of cover stock.
Price
So
will go
these
up.
are basically what's coming out on Tuesday.
Okay.
These are the ones that I recommend. These are the ones that really caught my eye, and I thought I wanted to showcase those.
Okay. What, Anthony? You pick up anything?
Yes, I did. First of all, I picked up the new issue of Oh My God,
Yeah.
created, written, and illustrated by me, Anthony Sica. And if you're in the neck of the woods of Jeff Wong over in the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, you can pick it up at Nerd Out Comics this Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did pick up some stuff. I've been looking forward to Red Room by Ed Pisker.
I picked it up too.
Yeah,
You know, now it's like a $15 book now.
Yep, it's sold out at all levels.
Yeah.
Ed Pisker and Jim Rugg, 2 comic veterans of 20 plus years. They do. What's cool is instead of the comics code, they have the Outlaw Comics code.
Yeah, I saw it.
Outlaw Comics code with a pentagram. So they're very rebellious. anyway, the books, I haven't read the book yet because it's, by the way, it's only, I think it was $5.99 or $4.99, but it was 64 pages.
Yeah.
So really crazy stuff. I did go over to the dark side, as Daryl said earlier. Thank you, Daryl, for the compliment about my arms. I picked up Wonder Girl #1 because I'm a huge Joelle Jones fan.
Oh yeah,
and I think the Wonder Girl that came out in the DC, whatever the fuck that was last year, those 2 issues of Wonder Girl, I like them a lot. Joelle Jones, both writing, illustrating, and she created Wonder Girl, and the art is fantastic. Joelle Jones, who is the creator and artist for Lady Killer and the first 9 issues of the new Catwoman run. And she did a bunch of issues of Tom King's run of Batman, which were fantastic. But unfortunately, I have a feeling that after about 6 issues, Joelle Jones will probably leave and do something else, like which is pretty indicative of every good thing that Marvel and DC do. They bring a good creator on for about 3-4 issues, and then they leave. And then you have 10 other people with mediocre art. But for right now, I'm going to pick this up. And believe it or not, I am going to pick up Stargirl next week. I did not know it was coming out next week. But I do like Jeff Johns' Stargirl a lot. And then I picked up some old stuff this week.
Ooh.
This
Nice.
Conan Saga #3, which if anyone follows me on Instagram, the coolest thing is that the first title in here, The Lurker Within, by Barry Windsor Smith, is reproduced in black and white. But not only is it black and white, but it's the actual penciled pages.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
don't have finished inks on them, and they have notes and everything. And it's just fucking phenomenal. I'm going to show you real quick. See the splash page? It's got the color keys and the notes. And by the way, I think this book came out in 1970?
It looks like it's signed by somebody too, right?
Yeah, well, it's Barry Windsor on the bottom, but you see how it's like, 1970, mind you. Right. That is Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the way, facially.
Yeah.
What, 10 years before the movie came out, or 8 years, or 12 years? But my point is, if you notice, all the notes by the writer and everything are in the margins.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool. Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith, which in my opinion is Conan. And then I also picked up #6 of the Conan Saga, which also has 3 Barry Windsor Smith stories in it. And then the really cool one, #8 of the Conan Saga. These were all reprinted, I think, in 1982, probably around the time that the movie was coming out and stuff. This has the Song of Red Sonja reproduced in it and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
These are books I don't have. I used to have an oversized one of the Marvel magazine, one of those big oversized versions. But of course, I'm not a big highball roller like Jeff Wong. So I can't afford those original copies. So I like buying the black and white repros. And really quick, I started, I have 5 pages of Misty America #1 penciled. And if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you see that I started on some inks. Nice. These are some flat inks that I started working on. I usually start with my figure stuff and my fighting scenes before I actually go. And just so that some folks can see the process, this is how I thumbnail out some of my action fights and stuff.
That's nice.
That's
more talent than I got, man. I can't even draw a stick figure.
Well, that's why I create comic books. So, but the thing is, there is a process. I go through, I lay out some of the action scenes, the plot, the dialogue ideas. I do a loose script, and then I start drawing the thing, and then I pray and see how it comes out a month from now.
That's cool. I picked up a couple of things, not too much, but If you guys didn't know, there's a shortage on bag and boards. BCW and the other company is back ordered until August, so it's gonna be hard for people to get bag and boards. Giving a fair warning to everybody. It's starting out in Florida first.
My LCS actually got a shipment of bags and boards. So
Oh, that's cool.
they're called Cloak and Dagger in Daytona Beach.
So if you guys need bag and boards, I would hit up Anthony's shop for right now.
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger. They had about 12 bags and board packages that just came in.
That's cool.
Oh wait, let me ask you something real quick. Where did you get that information from?
Huh?
Jeff? Was that from Nerd Out?
I got it from Tim.
Yeah, I would double check with somebody else just in case.
Yeah, I asked Chad from Yancey Street too.
Oh, okay. You asked Chad also. He said August.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was posing for Daryl real quick.
Yeah, you're good. I got this Baby Teeth Aftershock exclusive cover from straight from the Aftershock representative. One of the representatives actually came by one of the shops, so I actually grabbed it off of him. So that's pretty cool.
That cover disturbs me.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing little children with horns.
And then I picked up the same thing Anthony did. Ed Pisker is the guy that wrote Hip Hop Family Tree, if you guys didn't know.
And X-Men Grand Designs, too.
Yep, X-Men Grand Designs. And he's writing Red Room. I'm guessing the Red Room one is like slashers, right? When I read it, it felt like that's what it felt like.
It's like snuff films on the dark web. It's Rob Zombie killers, pretty much. That's right.
And then I picked up, what is it? Mickey Woodcock, the girl that who electrified Tesla. There's a page in here that I cannot show because YouTube will ban the hell out of this stream if I do.
Yep.
And then I picked up Godzilla, and I picked up the photo covers. I'll be picking up all the photo covers for this one.
Nice.
Yep. And then I picked up the Sacred Six from Dynamite, and it's a Perillo cover. So I've been really enjoying it because Christopher Caprice's Vampirella run I've been really enjoying it, so it's been really good. Finally got to read this.
Cullen Bunn, yeah, he's awesome, man.
Yeah, I read issue 1 and finally got to read this issue 2. It was actually good. It surprised me. Cullen Bunn doesn't surprise me though, but yeah.
Yeah, he's a very, very underrated writer.
Yep. And I got to read issue, what is it? This is issue 4. I got to read issue 3. I got to read issue 3 before I read this one. But I heard some good things about this, but I've been really enjoying this series anyways. And then I picked up the new Shang-Chi #1 when we just ended Shang-Chi, what was it? I forgot, but it was a previous issue. And then this one, when I took a look at it, it reminded me of Anthony's book.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I looked on the inside, and I'm like, it looks almost similar. I'm like, but
mine's better though.
Yeah, yours is better, and then their paper quality is interesting, and the price tag on it is interesting. So, and the Quest, I still got to read issue 1 and 2. Haven't got around to it yet. My pile is way
Tim Seeley is going to be at Daytona Comic Book Convention.
Yep, I'm going just for him anyway.
Not for me, just for him.
Nah, for you too, man. All right. Hang out.
David Byrne's going to be there too.
Yeah, hang out with everybody. I like going to cons, hanging out with everybody, and get to meet everybody, and I actually get to meet David in person.
Yeah.
Actually got to read this Vengeance of Vampirella. Some interesting stuff happens at the end, man. So I'm pretty excited to see how. Supposedly it's gonna end at issue 20. I think that's the.
Then we're gonna have a #1 for the 20 millionth time.
Yeah, and then Red Sonja verse. Very interesting.
Is that a Linsner cover?
Yep, you hit the nail right on the head, man. interesting read. Like it's pretty much it's Spider-Verse, but it's the Red Sonja verse instead. It's just like Spider-Verse stuff.
Is there a
It's just-
Sonya Ham?
It would be funny, but I haven't seen one yet. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Eventually, if they might have it. Yeah. Then that's pretty much it that I picked up. But I'm pretty excited for next week. We're gonna have Damn Cursed Children's. Both of the I believe they're both the writers on it. Both of the creators on it. Howard Wong and Josh Stafford. Both are going to be on with us, and we're going to get to interview. Me and Anthony are going to get to interview them, and it's going to be at a special time. Extreme Nerd Table is actually going to be at 5 p.m. EST next week at a special time because for Howard and Josh, so they have an earlier time because at 9 o'clock it's a little too late for them. So I'm pretty excited about that. So, all right. Anything else that you guys wanted to talk? Well, oh yeah, you guys wanted to talk about what was it? Superman. What did you think of the new episode? Randall, you're the Superman guy out of all of us.
Yeah. It's still good, man. I love it. I really do. Like Anthony, did you see the episode? Because I don't want to spoil it for you or anything.
Yeah, the football game one where they're fighting Metropolis. Yeah. Yeah, I watched it today, actually.
Yeah, they it was almost like a little nod to the whole like with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, you see Superman telling his son like, like you can't let those feelings get the best of you. Like, and him explaining to his son like that anger that you feel, those feelings. He's like, I have those too, and you have to be able to control that, And so Jordan kind of lost his cool. And he was, of course, experiencing some issues with his abilities because of an altercation he had with a character with powers. So it was really the balance, everything, the way this show was bouncing from Lois to Superman to the kids. The pacing of the episode was just really good. The character development, the direction to take in the series. It's just, this is, in my opinion, the best. Better than The Flash, it's the best CW TV show out there right now.
Daryl, it's not Smallville, Daryl. This is Superman and Lois, a new CW. They are in Smallville, and I think there's only 5 episodes so far that have been.
Well, the one that just came out is episode 6.
All right, so 6 episodes. Look it up on your on-demand. It is worth a watch. I am the most cynical, old, grumpy, get off my lawn person on this panel. However, please give it a chance. Smallville is actually a fantastic show so far. I went in watching it as we talked about this a couple months ago when it premiered. I had no interest in watching it. Right. I was dead set against watching it. I was almost taking a vow not to watch it. And then I watched it. And I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. It is the best. I'm going to say this as a Zack Snyder fan too. I think it's the best version of Superman we've had since Christopher Reeves on the screen. Not because of any physicality, by the way, but it's the essence of like when his son says, "I'm nothing like you." And then what Randall was talking about when he talks about the anger that he feels and the fact that he's so powerful that he has to keep himself in check. And also the fact that this is what's nice is the Superman that we see on the show is very very noble and very still that great superhero. And historically, according to the show, he's already been Superman for 20 years. So the idea that he's been 20 years and he hasn't turned into the Superman that Zack Snyder takes one movie to turn him into, or Tom Taylor's Injustice, one bad day, Superman goes bad or rogue or evil, whatever. I think that's good because I believe the one thing that we need to hold, and I've just seen this recently or come to this realization, is Superman should be Superman. And he should not be moody and unnoble and selfish and all that. And I think this show is nailing it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought I heard some news about Injustice. Is it Injustice like getting an animated series or?
Yeah, they're making it animated, supposedly.
They're making an animated film. So they're getting ready to release the Batman Long Halloween. They're releasing 2 parts. I think, I don't know if this one site is correct, but they made it sound like that the first part and the second part are coming out very close. So like the first part is supposed to be coming out in June, and then I read somewhere that the second part of the Batman Long Halloween is coming out in July. And someone did a synopsis. They you know, because they, I guess, got the information of what's on the hard copy of the Long Halloween 2. And so the Long Halloween Part 2, it tells you that the next DC animated film is going to be Injustice. So that should be probably coming out July. So let's say August, September, probably October or November. I could see Injustice coming out on Blu-ray. And obviously,
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Do you know who's voicing everybody, or do we not know that yet?
No, we probably won't even find out till we get closer to July when the Long Halloween Part 2 releases.
Do we want a Stupid Duck live action movie?
Stupid Duck?
I don't even know what Stupid Duck is.
But I have a follow-up question. I saw Howard the Duck available at my local Walmart for $6 on Blu-ray. Do you think that's a good investment? What does the Blu-ray have? What does the Blu-ray have that my VHS copy doesn't have?
I don't support buying anything at Walmart, so I would say no.
Do you know that George? Well, I'm sorry, social millennial, not shopping at Walmart. Yet I bet the Amazon truck stops by your house 3 times a week.
No, just two times.
2 times, okay.
Yeah, 3 times.
How does everyone realize that George Lucas made Howard the Duck?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Was he one of the producers, or was it the Lucasfilm, his production company, that made it?
No,
it says a film by George Lucas on the cover. So there you go.
Okay.
It was one of his first. It was one of his first films. Like, yeah, first or second. No. I'm just giving them the.
It was after Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So no.
Okay,
yeah.
So
not to mention American Graffiti and THX and all that.
Speaking of George Lucas, I saw an article recently where they said that George had convinced Steven Spielberg that he needed to direct all of the Indiana Jones films when he first signed on to do the first movie.
Yeah.
And so he told him, like, it's a trilogy. I have 3 stories. And so, Spielberg agreed to it. And then later on, George admitted, like, I only have 1 story written. I don't even have the other 2 stories written yet. So it's like he got Spielberg to basically commit, even though they only had like 1 film made.
There's an incredible YouTube documentary on Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it talks about the origin and the making and all that stuff. Just look it up, Raiders of the Lost Ark documentary. And what's funny is that even though he had no credits regarding the directing, a lot of the shoots, the African shoots, the Temple of Sun Ra and the Well of Souls and all the stuff they did on location in Tunisia or wherever they were, where they shot Star Wars, by the way, same place. All those scenes, a lot of those parts of the movie. George Lucas was actually a cameraman working the second camera. And although he didn't get a director's credit, he was there almost the entire time of the production. And he was working the cameras himself. So again, check out all the Raiders of the Lost Ark documentaries. it brings a new appreciation to a movie that I consider one of my favorite movies of all time, by far.
Yeah.
Now,
and then sorry, I was going to say there was a obviously about Temple of Doom.
Sure.
Before Temple of Doom was written, one of the pitches was that they were going to film it in China, and they had this whole thing planned out where Indiana Jones was going to be on a motorcycle, like chase scene or whatever, going through the Wall of China. And so when they tried to get permission to film in China, China turned them down and said no. So then they had to go a different direction with the original idea for the sequel, because they didn't want to use Nazis. They already did that for the first film. And then the other idea they had, which I wish they would have done, because I think I would have enjoyed it way more than Temple of Doom. One of the ideas was that they were in Scotland, and that Indiana Jones went to go to a haunted castle in Scotland.
Yeah, we watched the same YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's in those.
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah, they were gonna make a Indiana Jones Scooby Doo movie in Scotland.
I would have loved it.
Temple of Doom's a good movie though, and understand it's a prequel. It takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah,
It's one of my favorite movies too. I just think what's cool is that it's different because it stands alone from the other three. And it's Steven Spielberg's least liked movie, but I like him because he's going Zack Snyder on that whole movie, pulling hearts out and darkness, and and Indy gets possessed. It's a great movie. And actually, all these people that hate movies that they're in, well, Steven Spielberg wouldn't have met his wife if she wasn't in that movie, Kate Capshaw. Yep. On the same note, Ryan Reynolds hates Green Lantern so much, but he's married to Blake Lively, so there you go. There's something to be said about finding romance or future love on really movies that you don't like.
It happened with Ben Affleck on Daredevil,
That's right, yeah. But see, I like Daredevil because I'm old.
Yeah, I like Daredevil too.
I like the original MC universe, starting with Howard the Duck, all 3 Blade movies, the Fantastic Four, Daredevil, and Sam Raimi's stellar, still the best Spider-Man trilogy.
Yes.
What about you, Jeff? Jeff's
well, now we know how Jeff feels.
Jeff's like Jeff disappeared.
I don't feel the same way that you do, Anthony.
What?
I'm just saying, like, Jeff was like, the minute you asked him, what do you think, Jeff?
Hey,
clearly,
ladies and gentlemen watching this stream, if you want to stream or do your own YouTube, please go to StreamYard and download StreamYard or sign up. It's free. Like we have a free one. It's so great that when the host of the show disappears and his Wi-Fi goes out, the stream still continues even if the host is gone. So again, this YouTube stream is powered by StreamYard.
I just had internet issues, man.
Yeah, but
so my bad.
What I was doing is I was giving a little advertisement for StreamYard. It's such a good platform for this that ironically, when the actual host of the stream loses his internet, the stream still continues, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I love that thing, man. It's great. At least you guys keep people entertained, so that's good.
We should have, what we should have done? We should have done an Indiana Jones skit while he was gone. Right? Anthony, you should have been like, where did Jeff go?
I could have been trying to take your heart out, and you would go, Mum Shaba, Mum Shaba, Mum Shaba.
You would have been like, where did Jeff go? And I was like,
no, man.
What we could have done is like
kidnapped me. That's what happened.
I could have said, I could have held up a bottle, and you could have said, "What is that?" And I'd be like, "The antidote." and you say, "The antidote. What for?" And I say, "For the poison, Dr. Jones." Because you know why? Anything goes.
Have you guys watched the MODOK show yet on Hulu? The MODOK cartoon
episodes. I watched the first couple episodes. It's I like the energy. I like the pacing, like the way they're trying to push the show.
Right.
There's some funny parts in there. I still have more to watch. I really do like Patton Oswalt, and I like the work environment. Right? It's like The Office, right? Where it's the whole like people who work there and they're all interacting with each other, and so it's like that in a sense, but much exaggerated because it's this giant head MODOK, and and I love like at the end of like one of the episodes. You see him go into this chamber and he goes, it's like an elevator and it drops him down. And you have these coworkers that are like, where does he go? And he's like, every night he shows up to this, and he takes this elevator and he goes, where does he go? And the other guy's like, I don't know. Nobody knows. Everyone wonders like where he goes. And all it does is it takes him home. It takes him home and he has his wife and his kids. So they think he's like up to this like secret, crazy, like no good thing. And that's just his way of getting home to go hang out with his family.
What does his wife and kids look like?
So his wife and his son look normal. They look they kind of look Spanish, just because of the way that they have their hairstyle, the way they look. That's the impression that I get. And then of course the daughter looks like MODOK.
Okay. The world weird. And the world of animation needed this MODOK for what?
I think the funny thing is like the way they do all these animated shows now, they're all geared towards comedy, right? Like even the kids shows, they're trying to make everybody laugh. They were trying to go the route of like, hey, it'll be like doing something for like Adult Swim, but it'll be more PG-13, between PG-13, and we'll try to get like I don't know if they're trying to attempt to do some of the Family Guy. Imagine doing a Family Guy show, but without all the shock and awe, none of the jokes that cross the line that make you go, wow. Like imagine doing that, like a safe version of Family Guy, but with Marvel characters and on Hulu. So I mean, I've noticed a lot of people are not really impressed with the show. So it's one of those like I doubt that it's going to get a second season, but I still think it's worth checking out just because of Patton Oswalt alone. I like his humor.
Why'd you say you doubt it's gonna get a second season and it gets like two seasons? It gets like to season 2 and 3.
You never know. I could be wrong.
He pretty much said I like it, but no one else is going to, is what Randall just said.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I still haven't watched all of it. So some people are like, they said, a lot of people that I know, they've said that after 4 or 5 episodes, they fell off and they stopped. Now, once I watch a TV show, like I've never come across a TV show that I disliked so much or was not impressed with so much that I was like, nope, not going to finish it. So I'm going to finish it. I'm going to get around to it. But it's one of those, like, what threw me off was that they had all the episodes available to watch. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like, they'll have like the first 2-3 episodes up and then they'll release an episode every week. Kind of like what Amazon's been doing. But no, they had all the episodes. I wasn't prepared for that. So I was just like, I don't feel like binge watching all the episodes at once. It's like, I actually prefer episodes coming out like once a week. Like I've been like what Disney's doing with the Bad Batch. Like I got to watch the latest episode of Bad Batch. That show's still going good, going strong. Spoiler. It's a little bit of a Mandalorian reference in the that episode. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Gina Carano's in it?
No. Man, let me tell you something. The fact that when Gina Carano got fired, it's so bad. It's so bad that she got fired that even though that they were making the New Republic or whatever,
they canceled it. Rangers. It was called Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah, Rangers of the New Republic.
The reason it was canceled is because Filoni and Favreau wrote the whole show with her as the star. Yeah. So yeah, I think it kind of fucked it up, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Wars, I did pick up one other thing from the Evil Empire.
Oh, nice.
I bought War of the Bounty Hunter because Steve McNiven is drawing it.
Oh, that's cool.
Steve McNiven is phenomenal.
Did he phone it in on this one?
No, he fucking drew it like fuck. Tell me, did he phone it in, Steve McNiven? Come on, man.
Oh.
In fact, he even did a homage on the cover, Stephen McNiven after Stephen Platt.
Nice.
So if you put in Stephen Platt's name on the cover and an after, you got more detail. Look at Boba Fett getting stuck with a big spider leg. No, nice. Excellent. But here's the fucked up part. They didn't even call this 1 or 0. They called it Alpha. There's going to be a series. There's going to be a continuing series called War of the Bounty Hunters.
Right.
And in case you want to spend some money, this is the year-long series that's War of the Bounty Hunters. So if you want to stick with the story, Marvel and Disney want you to buy 36 copies of comic books to be in the story.
So basically, they want you to buy all of the Star Wars titles that they're releasing.
Because no one else wants them. But anyway, I bought this only because of the Steve McNiven art. And the fucked up part is when it introduces, stay tuned for the issue number 1 on sale next month. It's only covers by Steve McNiven. And then some guy named Luke Ross is doing the book. So I spent $3.99 just to get this piece of Steve McNiven art. But I could care less about Star Wars comics or Marvel or Disney comics. However,
I would have done the same.
However, spoiler, you want to know how cool the story is? The story starts with Boba Fett leaving with Han Solo's body encased in carbonite on his way to Jabba the Hutt. And somewhere along the line, the carbonite starts to dissolve. So he goes to a guy that can fix the carbonite to bring Han in one piece. And then another bounty hunter steals Han's body. So this is the tale of whatever happened between Boba Fett putting him in the carbonite and then bringing him to Jabba. So interesting concept. I don't know how you're going to
it's almost like a Weekend at Bernie's in space.
Right, but you're going to have to sell 52 issues of this book to get the whole story.
That'll be a nice omnibus of it.
But speaking of that, we were talking about Mandalorian, and I thought of Boba Fett. They did put out a preview, which wasn't really a preview. It was the scenes we saw before of Boba Fett, the Palace of Boba Fett, or whatever that's called. If anyone watched The Mandalorian, him and Ming Wan Wei's Shield Mulan character, she is his partner. She's his Huckleberry or his Chewbacca.
You mean Ming Na Wen? That's what her name is.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I got you.
Ming Dynasty.
I thought it was Ming Na Chloe Grace Moretz.
That's who it really is. Yeah. But that's going to be a good show. But really, the Gina Carano thing, getting back to that, I think Disney was a little hasty. But whatever.
But have we seen her in anything else, or has she popped up anything like her Twitter or anything?
No, she's just popped up in interviews.
She's continuing to be outspoken with her views. However, they're not any more controversial than what anyone else posts. And to be honest with you, they're trying to cancel Gal Gadot 2 weeks ago, and now they're going after Pedro Pascal because Gal Gadot, who's of course an Israeli native and served in the Israeli army, put out a thing about wanting peace. And now they're trying to cancel her, saying that you're no fucking Wonder Woman and blah, 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 and hashtag free Palestine. And I'm sorry, but she's Israeli and she's Jewish. What else is she going to say? Anyway, she put out a tweet saying that she wanted peace and that both sides should live in peace and all that. but people are coming after her. And then Pedro Pascal got caught up, the star of The Mandalorian, because he was posting that so happy that Wonder Woman 84 was going back to HBO Max and also premiering on HBO this Saturday. So he's like, I love Gal Gadot. I can't wait to see her again this Saturday on HBO. And then everybody went after him. It's just, you know what, boys and girls, why doesn't everybody just stay off the internet and stop being mean to each other?
This thing is getting out of hand, man. This cancel culture shit crap is getting out of hand for real.
We got to stop those crusaders.
As Daryl says, people are allowed to their opinions, and as long as they're not hurting anybody,
right.
And even if you don't agree with someone, always understand, like I've said from day one here, the artist and the art have to be held separately sometimes.
Right.
Okay. I am never gonna say I will never watch a Woody Allen film again or a Bill Cosby or a Cosby Show episode because whatever crimes they've committed, that has nothing to do with it. And by the way, everybody out there in the YouTube land, Gal Gadot is not really Wonder Woman. I don't know if you know that, but she's not really Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's just a normal person with a husband and a couple kids, and she's Jewish and she's from Israel. So let her say whatever she wants as long as she's not hurting nobody. Because guess what? Sticks and stones hurt bones, but words should never hurt us unless Randall's yelling at me about something.
My words form into a giant snake and I throw it at you like Serpentor.
Yeah, words don't form into nothing unless you put it out there and it's actually art and it resonates to people. And there are a lot of people that were wonderful. Oh, look, that's right. Linda Carter is Wonder Woman, and I'm very proud that Daryl spelled Linda's name properly with the Y. You know, guys, don't you think Daryl's talking a lot? Maybe he should just come on the stream.
Yeah, man. I'm just like,
what the fuck? I mean, really?
Unless he really likes just typing like Doogie Howser.
I think he does. He likes typing.
Like,
he's like that guy who says, I can't call you, but he texts you 100 times.
Then he's going to journal after our show is done.
Do you think Jeff
is really Jeff wanted me to join the show tonight, but I really just feel like typing.
Is Jeff frozen up or is he just really still?
He might be frozen up again.
I thought he was like Dave Bautista in I thought
it's
he was
like he's trying to hypnotize me. It's
I
like he's giving me the stare.
I thought he was like Drax in Guardians. He's like, I'm eating real slow. You can't see me.
Yep. Look at that.
Again,
all right.
This stream brought to you by StreamYard. Never lose your stream.
He's like, what? Where did Jeff go?
Yeah, he's gone.
No ticket. Yeah.
Is anybody even watching this show this week? I know
a buddy of mine. You remember our pal, our friend William C. Rollis?
Yes.
He actually had to go back to work starting today.
Oh, okay.
So he messaged me earlier saying, "Sorry guys, I'm not gonna be able to watch. I'll be at work."
That's right. Like, as long as he watches the replay and hits the like button, and we just dropped his name in the broadcast. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, it's like I think the reason why no one's chatting and watching tonight is because Jeff spent all week advertising next week's show at 5 p.m. on Sunday. So
you think people
are confused. I told him not to do that until this show is over, but he's just too excited.
If you're going to promote it, you put the actual date, like May 30th, next Sunday.
Well, the thumbnail had the date. The thumbnail that I provided had the date, but
I didn't see the thumbnail. I just saw what he wrote in the post.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think he marketed next week so much that everybody went online at 5 p.m. today to watch us.
And they're like, "Where are they?"
Yeah, where are they? I can't get through my Sunday without
watching
go on
these
guys.
Canceled now.
Yeah,
you guys lied to me.
So let's argue a little bit. So I think Superman is the most overrated, shittiest character in comic book history.
You've never been more wrong in your life.
All right, tell me I think Captain Marvel is better. Billy Batson.
I agree. You're 100% right.
Are you? Were you a fan of the movie Shazam?
I was. I enjoyed it. I actually, it's cool. You might not even know this. I got an invite back when DC Universe was still going on.
Yeah.
I used to go on the message boards in the community, in the group, and I used to, type a lot. I contributed a lot, and so one of the ladies that was in charge of the community group, she, sent out emails, and I received an email saying, "Hey, would you be interested in attending one of our events? We provide the hotel, we provide you the air travel." And so I responded as fast as I could, and thankfully I was like one of the last people that got so I got to go all the way to DC Universe, and they gave us a nice little pre-screening of Shazam. But the funny thing was, Tampa had a pre-screening a week before that, so I actually got to see Shazam twice before it released in theaters, and so I got to enjoy it twice. And
nice.
And of course I went to go see it in theaters, so I'm pretty sure I saw it 3 times.
This is no fun because I loved Shazam, so I have nothing to argue about. It's in the top. It's in my top 3 DCEU movies of all time.
I don't know if it's in my top 3.
Yeah,
top 5.
It's in my top 3, and I'm not counting the old Supermans and Batmans and stuff. I'm just counting the recent Zack Snyder, Man of Steel on. It's in my top 3. My family and I have watched Shazam probably 30 times because when it premiered on HBO or whatever, Showtime, they were playing it every hour on the hour.
I actually liked Aquaman better than Shazam.
Yeah, well, Aquaman is probably my number 1 or 2. So I said it was in the top 3. I didn't say it was number 1.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't even timing it. I was like, man, how long has Jeff been gone?
Jeff, his laptop must have took a shit because he's on a phone now. Look at him.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Either that or he's making a TikTok video. Start doing some dances, Jeff. Do a TikTok video for us.
Yeah.
What happened? Did your computer go bye-bye?
Oh, it's CCK.
Please put an O in there.
Can't hear anything.
What are you on, your phone? He can't hear us.
I guess he can't hear us, yeah.
Are you on your phone?
It's just a floating head.
Yeah.
Like MODOK.
He's MODOK.
MODOK Wong.
Turn the volume of the phone up. And we'd wonder. I think Daryl needs to join us. I think he's frozen now, too. Oh, no, I see a fan blade moving.
Okay, yeah.
Like, how many computers is he on?
I don't know.
Can you hear us?
He needs to get his roommates off of the internet.
Yeah, he needs to get them off the PS4.
They're sucking up all of the internet.
The Xbox.
That's why it's freezing.
Yeah. I wonder if he can hear us. Oh, now he's gone. Now he's a CCK.
And maybe now he can hear us.
Can you hear us? Nope, because that little thing would be moving.
It'd be hilarious if you photoshopped and you put the O right in between the 2 C's, but
Can you hear us yet, Jeff? No? Look at him smiling. He's smiling.
You keep at it, man. You keep at it. We're here for you, pal.
Anyway, my top 3 is probably Aquaman, the first Wonder Woman, and Shazam, and then everybody else.
My top 3, it's going to be Lowe's Man of Steel. So Man of Steel's up there. I really want to say Batman v Superman.
I could throw the director's cut. I could throw the director's cut in there.
Yeah, I mean,
not the Snyder cut, but the director's.
Now that I think about it, I don't know which one I like. You know what? I do like Batman v Superman more than Justice League, only because it has more Superman.
Sure.
More Superman. So yeah, so Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Aquaman. Those would be my top 3.
You want to know a secret that I'm going to get hate for? I'm going to put it out there because I thought of it as a DC movie.
I'm back.
He's back.
I updated my computer, man, and my damn internet's acting up after I updated it.
Man.
Yeah.
We were afraid. We got scared.
No, you guys did.
We started talking about our top 3 DCEU movies because we were talking about Shazam and how much we loved Shazam.
Oh, since we brought up Shazam, we know that that Dwayne's gonna be the freaking what was it? The dog?
Yeah, we talked about that a half an hour ago. No.
Oh, okay.
You did.
No. I think we talked about it before the show started.
Oh, that's right. Which was a while ago. Okay. Yes. What's the dog's name again? Crypto.
So
It's not
with a K.
It's not Doge. It's Crypto.
It's Krypton without the N.
Oh.
It's gonna be a little weird to hear the dog talk like Dwayne, though. It's gonna be. You think?
Here's what happens. Dwayne Johnson's agent calls him up with movie ideas or movie scripts, and they just say, "Hey, Dwayne Johnson, would you like to?" And he just says yes. He just
maybe
stupid dog. He's here to save us from bad internet connections.
Super duck. I am a little disappointed that y'all did not get this Super Duck reference. That was a little upsetting.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just was under the impression that it was a Super Duck, not Super Duck.
I mean, Randall, you're too young to understand Donald Duck.
Oh wait, this is Donald Duck?
It was actually Daffy Duck. Now that I'm thinking about it, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
And it was because he just had a list of like Super Duck.
Exactly.
Super.
Well, I love how both Daffy and Bugs got to do a Superman episode. So I thought that's really cool.
Legends.
Do you guys think?
Are you gonna join us on this?
I'm gonna try to. Yeah, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
5 p.m. Eastern time next Sunday. Sunday.
Do you guys think when Jeff was away, I was trying to get into a heated argument with Randall, and he didn't really take the bite, take the bait. I said I think Superman is overrated, and I'll go on to say he's boring.
Well, if you see,
I want to know what you guys think.
If you seen him in the Silver Age, he got his butt kicked a lot.
Well, Jeff, what do you think? What is your opinion of Superman for real? And by the way, I'm not talking about on screen. I'm talking about in the comics. Does he do anything for you?
Not really. I think he's a little.
What if Superman was wearing the Vampirella outfit?
Yeah,
that changed
no. If Lois was wearing it, I would say yes. But
okay, there you go. Lois is wearing it. Okay.
What about you, Stupid Duck?
I like Superman. He's got some really good reads, and one of them is Red Sun Superman, which I think is absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, Mark Millar.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some good reads, but it doesn't. The character doesn't appeal to me in general.
Now,
all right, put him in a thong, and it's all you, man.
No, but I gotta be argumentative though. We asked about what impresses you about Superman comics, and Daryl mentioned the comic book from when? 2000 what?
1827.
What year?
1827.
No, that's like a 2000 run, right? Or post 2000.
Yeah.
And Superman's been around since what? 1936, 38, something like that. So the idea that he went 60 years before you could find a good run.
I said he had many. I just emphasized that was one of them.
All right. Well, I still think Shazam is better. Or I think Muhammad Ali is way better than Superman.
Like that, for example?
Yes. That's nice. But But anyway, Randall. Now, my question is for you to get your goat. What is it that you like about Superman for real? Under a minute, if you can explain.
Well, I didn't bring my clock.
Randall's frozen, or he's really still.
I think he's frozen.
All right. Well, Superman sucks, and Shazam can kick his ass any day. Oh, yeah, he's frozen.
That is such a smug face.
So, Superman sucks. Superman sucks. Super duper duper. Actually, you know what? It's the stupidest idea. Put a pair of glasses on and you can't see who it is. Come on.
Let me boot him real quick. And
oh my God. Who is that?
Super Duck.
Look, there's two of them.
Is that Michelle Pfeiffer behind you?
It is.
Yeah.
He's frozen again.
There she is.
Oh, he's frozen again.
He froze again.
I like that shot better.
Wait, is that Anna or is that Elsa?
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, he's moving. He's moving.
Dude. This is like old school 80s doing the robot we got going over here.
His AOL disc timed out.
Jeff is showing Frozen Land. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think Jeff is frozen now too. Could we all start singing "Let It Go"? Randall,
we should be doing the Brady Bunch.
While you were frozen, all I did was I said, "Superman sucks. Superman sucks."
Story. His name is Jeff Long.
I just don't want to look straight up if I don't have to.
Anyway. Superman still sucks, but that's all right.
Oh.
Jeff has mastered the use of the StreamYard controls.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Don't put Randall in the corner.
Okay. Oh, now, if Chloe Grace Moretz was Superman, would you like her?
No, but if Nicolas Cage, who was her father in Kick-Ass, was Superman, I would have liked that better. I wanted coked out Kevin Smith script Superman with a mullet.
You know what they should do? They should go ahead and make the Tim Burton film, but it should be animated and just get Nicolas Cage to voice it. And if you can, bring on Danny Elfman to do the music, you know, because I that's the one thing I would have wanted out of that Superman film is Danny Elfman's music. I bet you Danny Elfman's Superman soundtrack using the John Williams theme, it would have been beautiful. It would have been epic. That would have been my favorite thing about that film.
Did Randall ever answer why he liked Superman, though?
No. Randall.
He did.
I want to know
he
why
was on
do you like
pause, so
Superman?
you didn't get to enjoy it.
I asked. I wanted when you froze up in less than a minute, if possible. Give us your elevator pitch of why you think Superman.
Anytime you say less than a minute for him, he freezes.
Why do you think? Why do you think Superman is such a great comic book character?
So you want me to just say all this faster than a speeding bullet?
Sure.
Let me think here. Why do I like a Superman? Because he's the greatest superhero ever.
Why?
Why is he the greatest superhero ever?
Yeah.
Because he is.
Yeah, I did. You just used my mom's logic because I said so.
No, it's not because I say so. It's because he is.
It's because Stone Cold said so.
I'm just stating the facts. That's all.
No one buys Superman comic books anymore.
Nobody buys Superman comic books anymore?
Not like they should if he's the greatest superhero that's ever lived.
Call me nobody. Because I buy Superman comic books.
Excuse me. I meant
nobody
compared to other comic book properties like Batman or the X-Men or probably even Spawn. Who buys Superman comics besides you and Brian Michael Bendis?
I mean, there's a number of reasons why. Superman isn't as popular in the mainstream as he used to be, and that's because of the lack of the ability for them to do the films. And so I blame John Peters for that, because John Peters owns the rights to the Superman rights, and the man has literally been like affecting the entire every opportunity Superman can make it into the mainstream of film. He's always been the pain. He's always been like he's literally like Lex Luthor. He's the guy that's like literally killing Superman.
Your John Peters argument is getting old now. Okay, I'm talking about in the comic books. In the comic book,
but that's what I'm saying. The comic books sell. Back in the day, at least, the comic books would sell because more and more people became fans of the characters, via radio, via television, via movie serials. Same thing with Adam West. When Adam West Batman was huge, the comics sold like crazy. Now, it's different now because, one, comic books aren't in grocery stores. Comic books aren't easily accessible as they were back then. But I think if they were, and with the success of the films, you'd see, it's a combination of that, and also a combination of comic books cost too much. They're charging way too much for comic books, So there's a lot of factors involved as to why comic books don't sell like the way they used to. Lots of factors.
My cat is a better superhero than Superman.
On Halloween, yes.
She's got pussy power.
What's...
Look at the putty tag.
Okay, I got a question for the whole panel here. So why do you think manga sells better than comics, besides being in bookstores?
I have several answers.
Because Superman's not in it.
No,
I think Mark Millar, when he pointed it out, I was like, he was on to something. Yeah, I think he was absolutely right. One, mangas are more affordable. They're more affordable. They're in black and white, so clearly, the fact that they're in black and white, one, they save money. You don't have to pay a colorist. You don't even have to have it printed in color. So you're already saving money from the printing companies, which is why mangas are so affordable. So the affordability is huge. Second, it's consistent, not just in art, but in the way that it's printed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he pointed out, like Mark Millar pointed out, go look at all the manga books. When you see 30, 40, 50 volumes, they're all lined up. Same font, same size. The only thing that's different is the number on the book, but they're all consistent, and because you have like 50 books all lined up together, it's more noticeable. It's more easy to find it. It's like, oh, look at this. Here's Naruto volumes 1 through 50. Here's Dragon Ball Z 1 through 50. Here's, My Hero Academia, you name it. There's the consistency of it. And then they use the same art style, so it may not be the same artist that's drawing every book, because you have 3-4 artists that are all drawing the same style to put out the book. So consistency is just huge. And you're able to keep that following going. Affordability, consistency. Okay. If American comics can do something close to that, something similar, they have a much better shot at increased sales. I think his volume's off.
No, it's not.
Turn off his
I'm saying,
okay.
I'm screaming. My inner child is screaming, why? Because here's the thing. I will tell you, you know why manga sells better? Because it's cooler, period. It's cooler. The kids like it. They got big booby girls with little short skirts and tentacles and kamehameha and all kinds of shit. And let me tell you something, but you are right. You know what's consistent about manga is that the creative teams or the creators of the manga, actually, a lot of them, the writer is the artist, and he or she draws the whole fucking book, and he or she draws every book until, like, the guy that just did Berserk, unfortunately, who was an amazing artist, he dies. And then guess what? they don't continue the book. They just fucking stop it. So the book has integrity, and it has canon, and it has, and by the way, the Japanese culture, they don't give a shit about political shit. They don't give a shit about over-sexualizing shit. I did say boobies. I love boobies. But also the anime and manga people, they love boobies too. And they don't give a shit because somehow America has turned into the UK 30 years ago. All of a sudden, we're uptight about everything. And by the way, if Neil Adams and Kurt Swan or one of those guys, or Dick Giordano, if he was alive, was still drawing Superman, it would be the greatest comic book in the world. But guess what? The problem with the American comic book industry, the legends who are still alive, who are drawing all the shit that costs so much money in slabs that all the collectors buy at shows, if those people were even allowed to still work in the comic industry, comics would be thriving, but they're not. Because guess what? Walt Simonson is a cool artist. Guess who's not a cool artist? The 8,000 people in other countries that are drawing pages for Marvel and DC for $50 a page. That's what's uncool. And guess what? It translates because here's the deal. The consistency should be greatness. Manga in Japanese is defined as comic. It's the same thing. It's just the Japanese have their style, but we, the Americans who created the comic book, or at least the comic book superhero genre, like jazz, we created it. We should be killing it. We should have only gotten better. And I'm sorry, but Jeff does a show at 3:00 on Sundays called Silver Age Sundays. They ain't talking about no indie books like I put out or whatever. Right. They're talking about the classics, the greats. And guess what? Just like the Beatles, you ain't going to have another Beatles, and you ain't going to have another Elvis, and you got, but guess what? The manga people, they decided a long time ago, we're going to do our own thing, and we're going to keep it cool. And it's always going to be cool. Let me show you something. I got a Justice League, a Batman Justice League volume manga here in my hands. The artwork in this manga is 10 million times better than any shit you're going to see. And by the way, the Batman, Jorge Jimenez and all that shit, all those guys are killing it. They're good. But this stuff is just super cool. And the only way you're going to get kids to pick up anything and spend their money on it is if they perceive that it's cool. And it's about being cool. And I think manga is cool, and it always has been.
Well, let me add to that. Like, you were just showing off the manga there, and I noticed that the thing about mangas, you have mangas and you have animes. The two connecting things on those, again, is the style, the art style. So, you know, when you have the comics matching the animated TV shows, the animes that they watch, it's easy for the mind to look at the manga and be like, hey, it's like I'm watching the TV show, but it's on paper. So it's the way, like, the Japanese were smart. You know, the Japanese people, the Japanese culture, they were smart when they created that, because they just knew that you want the consistency, you want the continuity, right? You want everything to look the same. You know, like, obviously, you know, you're going to design the characters to look differently. They're going to have different hairstyles. They're going to have different size boobs, right? You know, like, they're going to just do things differently. But and the strength of their quality also comes in. There you go. The strength of their quality comes in
these are Silver Age ones.
The strength of their quality is obviously the character development. Like, once you really like the characters, and they treat their work, they treat the mangas and the animes almost this exact same, and they also, more importantly, story-wise, they treat them like they're soap operas.
Right.
You know.
Let me just say.
So they're
okay. Go ahead.
My biggest, what I think it is that kids today, they can read, download for free just about everything new every week. Manga, on the other hand, they usually have to go to Barnes and Noble and buy it off a shelf. And
Or
kids today,
go to
they're
Barnes
not
and
they're not
Noble
spending
and
much
read it at
money
Barnes and
on
Noble and
physical
put it back on
copies
the
of
shelf.
things. That's just one little thing that I think of when I think of why is something selling opposed to not selling.
Yeah. When I was younger, I had a bad experience with people who were fans of manga and anime. I used to work at FYE, and we had a manga section.
Yeah, I remember that.
And these damn, I mean, obviously they're not teenagers anymore,
Hoodlums.
but these damn kids and these damn teenagers would go there in a group, hang
Damn
around the
thirsty
manga
kids.
section, all dressed in goth, and just like, hey, we're cool, we're deep, and they're over there reading the mangas and then putting it on the shelf, and then all just casually walking out of the store like, all right, bye, and I'm like, you fucking kids, just never come back. You're wasting my time.
Wasn't for you fucking kids.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you my favorite thing about the genre is some of the TV shows I've been watching on Netflix. I just watched Eraser. Very, very good. There was one,
good, yeah.
Gosh, what was that other one I watched? Alice in Borderland. Thought that was really, really good. It makes me now think I want to go find these books to read them. Obviously the English version.
Right.
But I just thought those were amazing. So it makes me actually want to go into it. But the anime itself, I'm not a fan of. Like the art style of it to me does nothing for me. So
yeah. It's once you get, like I said, it's the characters and the story. Once you get involved, like Death Note. I thought nothing of Death Note. But then Netflix made a live action movie. I saw the movie and I liked the premise. I like the premise of the movie, right? I like the whole idea, the story behind it. And so I was so intrigued that I was like, and of course all the Death Note fans were like, oh no, that movie's garbage compared to the anime. You got to watch the anime. So I watched the anime, and 5-10 episodes in, I'm like, man, I'm hooked. I want to keep going. Yeah. And of course, the fans were dead on right. They're like, listen, you're going to reach a point when you get towards the end of the series where you're going to lose interest. And they were right. I just had to jump back into it, but because I like to finish things. I like to complete things. But I
love that from beginning to end. I was hooked into it. So.
Yeah, I've heard so many great things about My Hero Academia. Like
I watched a couple seasons. It's very entertaining.
Yeah. It's like their version of superheroes.
Yeah, well, it's like X-Men. It's like the X-Men Academy, Teen Titans.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff? What do you think, Jeff?
I think it's pretty interesting because they're still bullpen style. You know how over here it's not bullpen style no more, and they're over there they're still bullpen style. It's not like it's still old school style over there. It's still bullpen because there's a couple of creators over there that are their style is way different, but almost similar to Neil Adams. You know what I mean? There are some artists over there that are like in their wheelhouse pretty much, in like Neil Adams' wheelhouse, Stan Lee creator wise. You know what I mean? There are a couple of creators like that. But the big thing is, like Daryl was saying, we can download mostly anything now. The kids don't have that type of money to go spending it. $3 compared to when you get a whole story in a manga almost.
Yeah.
And one whole volume. So instead of floppy, it gets you what? How many pages? What's a normal one? What's a normal book?
Probably like 22 pages, 23 pages, maybe.
Right, 22 pages compared to 100 page or maybe 100 page.
Yeah, manga, you're getting like 6 books, maybe 8 books in one volume.
Right. Yeah. And then that compared to the price you're paying for that when a trade comes out, it's $20, $30. You know what I mean? So
this is why I've said before, like Kickstarter's like the future for comics, including big publishers, because eventually this is what's going to happen. Big publishers, they're owned by big corporate companies. Corporate companies are going to say, listen, this is what your sales were for 2019. This is what your sales need to be for 2020. This is what your sales were for 2020. This is where you need to be in 2021. You have to beat your record every year. You need to show that there's profit every year, and which is very difficult to do.
Well,
especially in the comic industry.
How they've been doing profit is if we increase, like you were saying a couple of months ago, if they increase the prices to the books, guess what? It's increasing profit. That's one way.
Exactly.
But the other way they could do it is drop it, and the volume might go up too. You know what I mean? If they drop the price, it might go up.
It might, but I mean that's the thing is that it's quality. I mean, Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, there's William. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, I totally agree with what he's saying out there as well.
Yeah.
Except it's not. They don't have a bullpen. They do their things Gangnam style.
Yeah.
No, they do have Williams totally right. Williams totally right. The creative teams are usually the same. You know, it's usually the creator of the manga series, and he's usually he or she is usually the artist and writer, and they pretty much do all 30 volumes. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures or whatever. My son was reading that. I looked through something. My son is an avid manga reader, and he of course Dragon Ball, and even when the Dragon Ball creator, who I don't recall his name, even when he's not involved with the TV show from season to season all the time, or the movies, he does do the artwork and the writing of the mangas. And the thing, like, what you said about, Randall, the thing is that's why I think is the disconnect. There's a disconnect with superheroes in the United States and manga and anime superheroes, because the manga actually is a precursor to the anime seasons. They may change in details, but the plot devices in the mangas are setting up for the anime that comes out maybe 6 months or a year later, whether it's One Punch Man or Demon Slayer or Berserk or Dragon Ball.
I got a question though. What about if, like, DC, Marvel, one of those companies actually, cross it? Like, how, what's the Batman and Fortnite crossover? What about manga and stuff crossed over? Crossed over with them.
Like they do mangas like the Deadpool. They put out a manga Deadpool a few months ago around Christmas time.
I'm saying like the teams, like if Dragon Ball meets.
Yeah, but see, Dragon Ball and all those properties, they don't need American. They don't need Western. They're kicking our ass. They don't need us.
The Joker gets the Death Note.
But they were doing that with RWBY. RWBY, however, Ruby or whatever that is. That was DC was printing some of those, and Jim Lee is a big fan connected with that, and they crossed over a little bit. But the truth, what I was going to say is that consistency with the anime and the manga. Remember a few weeks ago I talked about the fact that when an Avengers movie, when Endgame sells makes $1 billion, no one, the people that don't know anything about the comics run to go see the comic book or The Walking Dead or whatever. And they're like, or say you're a Walking Dead TV fan and you see all these characters, like even Daryl, and then you go to get the comic book and it's totally different than the TV show. That's the disconnect. It's like, if you read the comic books, in Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot in the movie just says, "I am Groot," but when you go to pick up a comic book, he's speaking in full paragraph sentences and stuff, and you're like, "Well, this isn't the same character." And a lot of times they don't even slightly look the same, and then other times they're different genders or races or whatever. And Japanese comics and manga, they won't do that. This is the character we made in the book. What you see on the screen is going to come real close to that character, regardless of what people on Twitter think or what some movie director thinks.
Right.
It's going to be at least the same character. And that's consistency that is maybe lacking in Marvel and DC, or excuse me, Discovery Channel and Disney's approach on selling comic books. Like we said, remember when you go see the Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, you finish watching that, there should be a comic that continues that story that's separate from the rest of Marvel canon.
Right.
For those people that found out who the Falcon was from the TV show or the movies.
What you're saying is something that we talked about a few years ago. Is when you have the characters there, and then you pick up the book. It's like kids aren't going to buy the books because it doesn't look like the movie.
Right.
And like, we thought, well, do you want, which one is better? Do you want to, because the kids are going to watch the movie first and then come to the comics. Do you want to? I don't know which way to go with that.
Well, I think we all know they're apples and oranges anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the kids don't relate to them anymore because they don't got cell phones in the comics. You know what I mean? They don't have. But imagine if Batman had a cell phone, that he wouldn't need the back signal no more. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of weird, but.
Well, I mean, like
Batman getting tweets.
Now that we're talking about consistency, think back to like when Marvel in the early 2000s when they had the Ultimate Universe. The Ultimate Universe, those were like some of the top selling Marvel books out of all the Marvel titles. And I think the biggest reason why was because it was self-contained. You know, they had their own universe. You didn't have like 10 different X-Men books. You didn't have 5 different Avengers books, 4 different Spider-Man books. You had one Spider-Man book. You had one X-Men book. You had one Avengers, miniseries. Like Mark Millar was thinking, he was making those series as if they were movies. But anyways, it was all self-contained. It was all in this one universe, and it was easy to follow. It was easy to follow, easy to keep up with. And on top of that, the majority of the stories were good. So you had your consistency. And that's part of the reason why they were the top selling books over at Marvel. Marvel hasn't been able to replicate that. I don't even know if they want to replicate that. I think right now they're just happy that they're getting people that can draw the stories, write the stories, put them out at a specific time that they need them done. I mean, like Marvel's put themselves into a corner. Like right now, look how many books that they're putting out. Look how many deadlines that they have. They are looking for talent, but they're looking for people that are like, hey, can you do it for this much? Right. We don't care if it sucks. We don't care if it's bad. It doesn't matter. It's going to get canceled in a year anyway.
$50 when Neil Adams charges $600. I'm just using an example, but Neil Adams charges $600. Can you do it for $50? You know what I mean? They would want somebody to do it for less. They don't want somebody that they have to pay $600 just to get pages done. You know what I mean?
And the thing that Marvel and DC don't understand is that because of things like Kickstarter, not to mention you have other publishers that are out there, right? Back in the 90s, you would have new publishers, start up business, and then they'd be out of business in a few years, where you have independent publishers that are like, oh no, we've been around for 3 to 5 years. We're going to be around for another 4 or 5 years, another 10 years, and we're going to keep pushing and pushing, and we're going to build our own fan base. Like the amount of people there's so much content, they have to think of it like streaming. You have Netflix. Well, guess what? Netflix isn't the only streaming service now. Now you have Disney Plus. Now you have HBO Max. And guess what? There's going to be more streaming networks that's going to keep coming out. It's going to keep happening. It's going to keep expanding. So that means the market for the people who are successful right now, it's going to continue to shrink and shrink and shrink. So Marvel and DC, they're going to continue to lose people, right? And then you're going to have all these independent publishers that are like, hey, remember when I did this DC book? Remember when I did this Marvel book? I'm creating my own book. Come follow me on Kickstarter. Give me your money.
And that's what it is.
Don't give Marvel and DC your money. Give me your money. So that money is it's one giant washing machine, and people are taking their loads out of it. So now that's like less and less, you know. So like Marvel and DC, if they're smart, they start looking into Kickstarter now, because you can use Kickstarter not only to save money and fund, actual stories and products that customers want. It's also a great way to advertise your product, because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people that go on Kickstarter that buy books that probably don't read any Marvel or read any DC at all.
Don't read any of it.
Right. But if you were to put it out there, if DC and Marvel were to start to do books on Kickstarter, some people would be like, you know what? This looks pretty interesting. I'll give this a try.
Again, the problem is that like, and by the way, William is right in everything he's saying. Yep. But the thing is too, is that like with Kickstarter and Indiegogo and independent comics, just like the image boom in the early 90s, people didn't care about Spider-Man or X-Force or whatever, or they just wanted to follow those creators, those artists, McFarlane, Liefeld, Lee, Silvestri, Portacio, all those image founders. And it's still evident today. As soon as a creative team disbands, I will buy, just like you, Randall, Ivan Reyes or Reese. I love everything he draws. I will buy his stuff if I see it on the rack. However, after 3 issues and he moves on and goes on to another title, and by the way, that's always been going on. It's not like in the 70s you had Perez doing every Avengers issue before he went to DC. But when he wasn't doing it, you either had John Byrne or John Buscema or Sal Buscema coming in and doing the alternate issues. So they were always great artists. But yeah, it's always going to be following the creators and not the content. No one, I don't think, honestly. And then what I know your point about Marvel and DC going Kickstarter route. I get it. But like, if you're this huge publisher and you already have the power to print 1 million copies of X-Men #1 by Brian Hickman at, whatever. But the thing is,
losing that power though.
But Hickman has no reason to promote it because he's only getting $1 from the sale of each book and his writer's fee. The reason why Kickstarter and Indiegogo is so big right now is because all those artists and writers, that is their entire source of income, because DC and Image and Marvel aren't hiring them, or there's some circumstance where they can't work for them. So, and they're making, like Billy Tucci, $325,000 raised off of one copy of The Return of the Warrior, or whether it's or any of those guys, even Scott Snyder, with
Polito. Polito's the biggest one out of all of them. Polito's the biggest guy out of all of them.
Yeah, I look at Kickstarter like a convention.
Exactly.
When you go to a comic book convention, you have everyone there with their own table, their own little section, and people are walking by, and you're telling people, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, check this out."
Right.
That's how I see Kickstarter.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, like, DC and Marvel, they are stuck in the past. They're not thinking about the future. They're stuck in the past, and all they're worried about is money and numbers. And they're still trying to figure it out. They're they keep hiring and firing people. And each of these people that keep coming in, they're like probably throwing ideas, and DC and Marvel's like, we've already tried that, doesn't work. Or, oh, we've already heard that, we don't like it, give us another idea, And it's like, it's like they're trying to slow down the inevitable, or they're just going to reach to a point where they're like, listen, like, it's so funny how so many people were worried that digital comics was going to be the destruction of the comic book market. No, graphic novels will be the destruction of comics. You know, I used to hear stories from guys that say, hey, if you really wanted to read an entire comic book story, you needed to go to like 10, 15 different comic book stores, look through the back issues, and complete all your back issues just so you could read the whole story. You know, those days are gone. You know, they brought the convenience. But now the convenience has restructured the whole selling process.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you
This
this:
is a
do you
Kickstarter.
think your Marvel and DC would benefit from having more realistic lifespans for characters? Like Batman has been going since 1930 something.
Sure.
I mean, have it be like at maximum 15 years?
No, because here's the thing. Well, here's the thing about comic book characters. It's smart when they reboot the universe, because when you reboot the universe, what you're doing is you're still keeping Batman, but you're just updating Batman for the times. That's like the Punisher, right? Back in the day, the Punisher was like, he was in Vietnam. Now it's to the point where, like, well, if Punisher was in Vietnam, then that means Punisher would be like in his 60s right now or 70s, and they don't draw him like he's 60 or 70.
Yeah.
So they update it to where, like
Daryl's saying, we would have to age all the characters up.
Right. Well, look at somebody like Ghost Rider. We're on Ghost Rider, 4 or 5? So, I mean, you're having someone else take the mantle.
Right.
Or we're just say, you know what? We're done with him for a while. Bring him back in a few years, not in a couple months.
It's really tough to do that now, only because these characters have been around for so long. Look at Steve Rogers, Captain America. He's been around for so long now. Like every time they got rid of Steve Rogers and they had somebody else play Captain America, the numbers on the books dropped. The fans of Steve Rogers were like, "Not my Captain America. Nope, don't like this character. Not going to read it." So? And so what happens is the publisher looks at the publishers are in the business to make money. They see something
bring him back in 3 years, and it becomes even twice as big when he actually does come back.
Yeah, but that twice as big is only like for the first 3 months or 6 months.
Well, that's all they're doing anyway now. It's like every year, it's like, oh, we got to reboot everything.
I think, like I said,
creative teams and like, you know what? You had your run, next run.
Comics should just be like The Simpsons. They should stay the same age forever. And every 10 years, they just change shit according to, okay, now we have cell phones. So just have the cell phone show up in his hand. You don't always have to mention that it's 2021. Exactly. You don't have to have them wearing pandemic masks. They should be in a COVID mask. They should be in their own universe. And again, that doesn't mean that Superman and Captain America are still fighting Nazis. But the truth of the matter is, if you keep them the same age forever, you could do a Nightwing story where he's Dick Grayson from 1987 or 88 when he becomes Nightwing. You could have him, hanging out with his cassette Walkman, banging Starfire, doing aerobics in the gym. and then you can have cyberpunk looking new Nightwing in 2021, but he's still Dick Grayson, and he still looks like he's in his late 20s or early 30s, because Batman is in his late 30s, maybe early 40s. I don't know. I don't care. The point is, like, Peter Parker has been a young man since 1963. It just be like The Simpsons. Just, they can age a little. Maybe they can have a kid. Maybe they can get married. But keep them the same age unless you're doing a Crisis on Infinite Earths type thing where you have that. To me, DC, when they explained that Earth 1 was the original 1940s, 1940s All-Star Squadron Justice Society, and then Earth 2 was the modern 1970s, 80s. I thought that was the greatest thing ever. Just do the parallel universe where this is old man Logan and this is young Wolverine and this is but be consistent. Consistency, I think we all agree after this long circle of talking. Right. Consistency in every medium, it doesn't matter whether it's film or comic books, or animated. Consistency is what people latch on to.
Right.
Okay, they latch on to it. And it's not out of nostalgia. It's what they know. So they are comfortable with it and they like it. And then be creative and introduce something new. And then you have a new cycle of consistency. There should always be new ideas. That Yara Floor thing that I picked up, the Wonder Girl, I like it. It's not Wonder Girl, the blonde Cassie Wonder Girl. It's not Donna Troy. It's some Brazilian Wonder Girl, which makes sense because the Amazon forest is in Brazil and the Amazon. So it's not just Themyscira. There's other groups of Amazon. That's a great idea. It makes sense. And it doesn't fuck with Diana Prince or Donna Troy or anything else. It's his own thing. And Bruce Wayne, the same thing. If you want Batman Forever Batman, or you have Lucius Fox's son Batman, there's still Bruce Wayne still exists. And I think that consistency in Marvel and DC is what's been lacking probably for 20 years. And it makes voids. It makes holes. Let's face it, DC and Marvel have created the independent scene that's going on right now. It's not just the internet. It's not just Kickstarter, and it's not just Indiegogo. It's them saying, we don't want to pay talented people. So all you talented people, go away and start your own business. And guess what? Go ahead.
I was going to say it's a little more than that, because also like editors are the people in charge of hiring. And a lot of times these new editors that come in, they want to bring in new talent. They want to bring in people that they're friends with, that they know. And they're like, hey, yeah, I'll get you a job over at DC Comics. I'm editing this. I'm the editor of this series right now. So I need to get some writers. I need to get some artists, and so like they're trying to bring in these people, but then at the same time save money. These editors have no experience, no relationship with the older creators. And they're not going out of their way to reach the older creators and build any kind of relationship. So there's no way that they're going to hire them, because there is no relationship, period.
Yeah, but these editors grew up reading the comics of these four. They didn't.
Some of them haven't.
You don't think C.W. Belusky isn't a diehard?
CB for sure. Yeah. But he's the editor in chief.
Okay. Well. You're talking about. Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. You're talking about the editors of the families. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Well, they all suck then. They suck. Suck. Because they're hiring because of agendas and networking, and not because of talent. So I give up then. I stop reading right now.
So, and by the way, when I was mentioning, killing people after a certain amount of time, that was like a devil's advocate thing, because Anthony, I totally agree with everything you were just saying. I was just like thinking like different ideas, like, well, what could they actually do? But I agree with what you're saying. Yeah. They can't do that. And that's how the video got.
And like I said, like the thing is the publishers, the editors and all that, they don't have time. They don't have time to sit there and figure out new strategies, because
they're too busy going to lunch.
That's their job, though.
They already have a deadline
to think of new things, new ways to do it.
Right.
Their job isn't to be like, I'm just on mind control. This is what we did 30 years ago. No, your job is to ponder how to make it relevant.
Yeah.
I have advice for every company out there. Hire artists as editors or editors in chief.
Like Anthony.
No, not like. Well, no, like Anthony. If Anthony was Todd McFarlane, I know Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane is the president of Image Comics, but that's just a figurehead title. He doesn't care about that. But when you hire artists as editors, and when I mean artists, I mean the Joe Quesadas of the world, or the Jimmy Palmiottis of the world, or whatever. Right. And I know Quesada's, is an editor. But my point is this: if you have an actual person that is actually a creative type and when I mean creative type, I mean all the way around, who can write and draw, then A, you're more sympathetic to the people you hire. B, you're going to be looking out for real talent and not agenda-driven talent.
Right.
And when I mean agenda-driven talent, race, gender, political ideologies, all that bullshit, no, just get the best artist. It should be like the Voice. You shouldn't see the color of their skin, how old they are, or their race, or any of that crap, or their gender, or any of that. Just hire who's ever the best. Now, when you talk about experienced artists, whether it's Neil Adams, John Byrne, Walt Simonson, all those folks, those people should be doing work every month because they're still around. But I know they want a lot of money. But truth be told, they built your companies. They built them. They were built by those people. And every shitty Disney show originated and is engineered by those ideas of those people.
Yep.
So put some of them back in. I don't mean all of them. Have all your young South American artists who are working for $25 making comics, have all of them in there. Keep them employed. But bring back John Byrne or Walt Simonson or anybody.
But I will say that,
so you can get old people like me and Daryl back reading some comics. And then we might pick up something else you're doing by a younger artist.
Yeah.
But you're alienating half of your readership every month.
But to play as devil's advocate, I will say this, though. Some of those people that haven't been working, that they do want to work, I wouldn't be surprised if they've been asked and they say, listen, if we bring you on board, we need to have this book done by this time. We have a deadline. We need you to do it like this, do it like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of the artists, the older you get, the more challenges that they have physically to finish the work, get it done, because they're not as young as they used to be. They might be dealing with some physical issues like, some arthritis. So in some instances, they might be offered work, but they have to turn it down because they can't assure them that, hey, I'm going to, because you got guys like Neil Adams that will still put out a couple DC books, like he had that Batman versus Ra's al Ghul miniseries that he's finally finished. That DC finally put out and he finished. Dan, you have a writer artist, Dan Jurgens. This guy was writing Death of Superman in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? He's still doing books for DC. He's a solid writer. He's been writing books, like he's done Batman Beyond. He's actually going to be working on the new Blue Beetle Booster Gold miniseries or maxi series, that's getting ready to come out. So, again, it's just it all depends on those situations. But it's always nice to see the older people still working and doing books, and they should be utilized for miniseries. They should say, hey, do you have a story? Do you have an idea you want to do? They're already, like DC and Marvel are already doing miniseries. So just have them do a miniseries. Have them do a miniseries. Have it be a separate story. It's not connected to continuity. It's like free of continuity. They can just write and draw whatever they want, and then they can say, listen, if it's going to take you a whole year to give us 6 issues, take the whole year. Get back to us when you're done.
And they used to do that. Art Adams. Everybody knows how great Art Adams is, and all he does is covers now. But even way back when he did Long Shot with Ann Nocente, he worked on that for like 6 months or almost a year before 4 issues or 6 issues came out. That's how they used to plan things back then. I have a feeling that a lot of folks in the industry, in the big 2 and even at Image, they're flying by the seat of their pants and they're going month to month, not knowing what's going on. And they, and previews, those things used to be in the works years, because you had people like Jim Shooter and you had people like, all the great editors, Paul Levitz, all these people, they were amazing. They knew what was going on a year down the road, you know, and again, it's just a consistency, man. Just look. I work for a company that makes motorcycles, okay? No matter what you do, and I'm not going to say the name of the company, but it rhymes with Schmarley Schmavidson, okay? When Schmarley Schmavidson makes electric bikes, okay, for young kids or, you know, new whatever, or they make sport bikes, they still have to make the big bikes with the big engines and the big saddlebags for the old 60-year-old guys who love their brand, okay? Yeah. When you make 10 stupid books for 20-year-olds or 12-year-olds that you're marketing, you still have to remember that the guys who are 35, the girls and guys who are 35 and older, who have real credit, real jobs, real mortgages, and money to spend on your shit, those are people that you're forgetting about because you're retarded. And I mean retarded in the nicest sense, in that you can't alienate half your readership with anything, okay? Yeah. And you can't alienate half of your anything with anything. If you have a brain, the millennials that are in charge of the companies right now, no offense if anyone's a millennial on here, but wise up. I am 50 years old. I would buy every single Marvel and DC comic book if it was even halfway reminiscent of the greatness you used to put out. And again, that's not nostalgia. Randall, I said I'm going to run out Tuesday and get that Stargirl. You know why? Because it's Jeff Johns. It's Todd Nauck.
I always say Nauck.
Well, Todd Nauck, I've been reading. I fell in love with Todd Nauck when he used to work for Rob Liefeld's Extreme Studios in the early 90s. And I started buying his Mary Jane series before the pandemic hit. And then they just killed it. And they said, oh, they didn't even release a third and fourth book. I was buying that just because of his art. And then the third reason is because, like we've talked about, I love the Justice Society of America. And anything relative to the Justice Society of America, especially Stargirl, I'm going to buy. And I'm going to pick it up. And I'm going to give it at least 3 or 4 issues. So that's what? $3.99, $4.99 every month for 4 months. You got it. Here's my money. Take it.
Since you're mentioning Justice Society of America, I'm going to have to recommend a series for you.
What's that?
I just put in the order for it. The Infinite Frontier miniseries. There's 2 covers.
Yeah.
There's the regular cover.
Right.
Where you see President Superman and a couple other characters.
Okay.
And then there is the Brian Hitch cover, and on the Brian Hitch cover, beautiful, beautiful Alan Scott cover.
Nice.
Green Lantern. And so the premise of the story is that Alan Scott is searching for the rest of the Justice Society members. He knows that they're out there. And so that's part of the story for the Infinite Frontier. Which is being written by Joshua Williamson, same guy, you know, who I mentioned earlier with the Flash books, doing Robin. This dude's going to be. It's so funny because in the interview that he was doing, he said that his contract was up, and he said he wasn't planning to renew his contract. He was like, he had everything packed and he was ready to leave DC. He was like ready to go, and then he had a meeting with them, and he didn't get into the details about the meeting, but clearly it was such a good meeting that he signed another contract with DC. So he's with DC for another at least few years. And I think part of it was that he wanted to probably to contribute more and do more like bigger stories. And he wanted to, like, you know, do more for DC. And he mentioned in the interview, he's like, I have to be careful. I have like 3, not chalkboards, but whiteboards. He's like, I got 3 whiteboards, and listed on the whiteboards are the characters, the ideas, the plans. He's like, I've got 18 months planned ahead. You know, like that's a big picture dude. That's a guy that like loves these characters, loves storytelling. Right. So I you know, we were talking before, like we're going to follow people. Like if, you know, hey, if so-and-so is working on this book, I'm going to pick up the book because of this person. I strongly recommend Joshua Williamson. Anything that he's putting out at DC, that's a book you want to pick up.
He did that Flash button story, right?
Yeah.
The Watchman button with Batman.
Yeah, he contributed with
Tom
King.
King. Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm getting a little drowsy, so I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
Oh, you'll just freeze again. It'll be okay.
Daryl joined us late, so
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
I thought my comments were actually better than my actual live appearance. That's not a
Well, yeah, but we like seeing your face. And William, thanks to William for chiming in too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave us a little bit of a good, talk during the show, so that's always good.
Maybe if we're lucky one day we can have William on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll send him an invite. I got his email, so.
I want to. He says we need a Jack Knight Starman show. I want a Power Girl show.
Mm.
I think Power Girl with the window here, with the cleavage window,
Reverse window.
which by the way is what started. Which by the way is what started the whole pro comic writer manga controversy last week, because what is it? The creator of Power Girl, what's his?
Right.
Not Ordway, but Conway or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's the guy that went on just total a rant about how manga's over sexualized too and blah blah blah. But it's the guy that created Power Girl and her costume. Come on now.
Yeah.
Which by the way is a great costume.
You know what?
That's unnecessary but great.
All right.
And we got blonde hair, so starring Chloe Grace Moretz.
There should be a comic book comedy series called More Boobies, Please. That's all it is.
Well, Anthony can draw it.
You can call it And the Twins.
Yeah.
Nice
pecs,
right.
Good definition.
All right. What you got going on, Randall?
Well, like I was showing off the books earlier, just getting books ready, taking care of customers. Hopefully some big changes in my whole schedule will be made, and I'll be able to sell more and promote more, and just stay tuned. Eventually, I will have solid details and information to give. Details below. That kind of information.
Yeah. What you got going on, Daryl or Super Duck or
Friday?
Incredible podcast.
Super Duck. Friday on the Simply Incredible podcast, we'll be doing our disc golf chat. Maybe this Saturday or next Saturday. Might be doing some more comic book stuff, so looking forward to possibly doing that. Mm-hmm. And I got a video from my haul from the baseball card show that I went to yesterday, and my feet and knees still hurt from that. But other than that, it's a good time.
And then we got the special interview with Damn Cursed Children's writers Howard Wong and Josh Stafford next week too. So. And what you got going on, Anthony, besides, oh my God, issue 6 dropping and
man, I would love to get that.
Dropping. Well, it's oh my God is in the mail. It was shipped a couple of days ago to Daryl. He ordered some copies of Oh My God. And I'm working on Misty America. I'm busy drawing pages for Misty America. I have 5 pages penciled, 1 page inked, starting on some extra pages this weekend. But you guys have made me tired, and I don't feel like looking at comic book pages anymore. But other than that, man, oh my God, issues 1 through 6, the complete series is out. If you don't have it and you'd like it, just direct message me at any of my details, which can be found on any of these videos,
right? And
on the interwebs via Google. Just Google my name and the title of my book, and you'll find something. And I have some really good deals. You get for $20, I'll send you the whole series plus shipping and handling. So there you go, man. And
you have Tuesday. You have a Tuesday show that.
Yeah, Tuesday Tuesday, I'm excited. I'm going to have a little rap party for Oh My God. And I'm not going to be rapping, but it's going to be rap that it's over. And I'm having Daniel Driscoll, who is the guy that does the variant covers for me. He's
That's
a
cool.
friend. He's a friend of mine. He's done one cover of the last 3 issues just because I wanted to give him the opportunity to do a cover and get some published work. Because that's what it's about. That's what it's about, having a friendly community. And I like his stuff because it's different than mine. And then secondly, more importantly, I'm working on having Playboy model Samantha Mathias on the show. If she answers my StreamYard she but I'm working on that. She is doing a nude shoot in Vegas on Tuesday. Because she does nude photo shoots all over the country, and she's in Vegas. But if she has her if she has a laptop and she's available, she is hopefully going to be joining me. But regardless, I'm going to talk about Oh My God.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Outlaw Comics and just shit in general.
You get her faster than I did. If you do.
Yeah, well, I'm trying, but she's been on the cover of four issues of my comic book.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to have her on to say, hey, and by the way, Kira Palmer, this is the main character, Kira Palmer, all suited up in a new costume. Spoiler, maybe she's got a life after this series. I'm just saying.
All right, and then I have Anthony's Comic Wednesdays going on Wednesday. Then I have the Extreme Nerd Table Sundays, and then Robert G and my show will return. That got why do I always forget that? The comic why do I always forget his name? It drives me nuts. I always
just call it the other show.
Yeah, the Robert G and my show, my other show that I'm on.
The Nerdy Collective.
Yeah, the Nerdy Collective. I hope the Nerdy Collective show, and then plus we'll have Howard Wong and Josh Stafford on from Damn Cursed Children on next week at 5 at a special time. Actually, Extreme Nerd Table will be at 5:00 Eastern next week, and Daryl and Anthony are probably going to join me. So we're gonna have that. So be sure to tune in, guys. Be sure to have the bell on, and be sure to sub up Anthony and sub up Super Duck, Daryl, sub up. So be sure to sub all of us up. Well, if Randall had a channel, I would say sub Randall up too, but too bad. But
it's coming.
Well, that's it, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week.